Hello and welcome to DNA Sports Talk. This is Don and D and DNA.
Hey, what's going on? This is Ace of the A and DNA.
Where we bring the facts about sports.
You're doing great.
Say so. What's happening, boss?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Hey, man, I'm all right, bro. I'm all right.
A lot going on, but like you said, we gonna make it.
We gonna make it, man. First off, we had before talked about uh, all of our fans out in California a few weeks ago with the wildfires, hoping that they were okay. Now we got to say the same thing in our backyard, South Carolina here in Georgia. Man,
And South Carolina's hot, but right now not for the wrong reason. You know what I mean? We'll
man,
get to the ladies and whatnot, but yeah,
right.
everybody,
Whew.
especially upstate, Columbia and above, Greenville, Spartanburg area.
Yeah,
So
and out in Covington area, that's east of Atlanta, uh, and even a few in the city, but that's a different scenario. But still, uh, please, we hope that everyone
yeah,
is safe and okay.
yeah.
Um, so let's talk some sports, right? Let's give us a distraction for a little while.
Yeah.
Uh, let's talk hoops, man. Let's go basketball first. Let's talk
You gonna
about
go
this
straight to
team.
basketball?
Hey,
Okay.
man, go straight to basketball, bro. I mean, I I am so impressed with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Let's
I
go
think
straight to
last
NBA.
week,
Okay.
straight
All
NBA.
right.
I'm so impressed with them because usually when you have one of the best records in the NBA, and of course Cleveland does in the East, before the trade deadline, you kind of are in a situation of, you know what, we're doing good. We just got to keep doing what we're doing, keep plugging along, one game at a time mentality. They were the first team last week to automatically uh, clinch a playoff berth. But what they've done the last couple of games against good competition, especially against the Celtics, where they were down, what was it, like 30
18.
some points?
Oh
it
yeah,
felt
no, yeah,
like
but yeah, yeah.
it felt like they were down 30. Well, felt like it was like 36-5.
Well, they
But
no. Well, at one point it was like 26-3. It was something stupid. They only had three
so
points. So to your
stupid.
point, yes.
It was something crazy. And to battle back, I think it's back-to-back games now where they've been down 18 plus points and have come back and won against Celtics and what was it, Detroit? I think they had that one. That one had to go into overtime. That showed me a lot about a team who, in a 7-game series, is going to say, we're never out of it, right?
Mhm.
You can, hey, guys, we're not making shots. You know what? Let's pick it up on the defensive end. Let's continue to do what we do best and just hope the other team shooting cools off, or let's get back and prevent these transition buckets and let's cut it to 18 by the half. Let's cut it to 12 by the beginning of the fourth. You know, 5 minutes ago, let's be within 7. We're right where we got them now, guys. They're struggling. They're pressed. We're good. For a team to do that, and I'm not saying that they're going to the finals, but that impressed me. And also, back to the point I was going to make, picking up DeAndre Hunter and giving up Karis LeVert meant, hey guys, yes, we got the best record. We need something to beat Boston. This is that one little change, and not saying that, you know, it didn't have to be a significant change, right? It's that
Yeah.
one little thing of saying we still have to get better because Boston is the champs. We're going to have to go through them. I can see that being said. Yeah, we're the number one seed, but we still have to go through them.
Mhm.
By making that slight change, I think it lets the team know we're not settling. We're not going to rest and think that we got the number one seed. Everybody, quote unquote, has to come through us. But it's the mentality of we're going to do everything we can to be the number one seed and stay the number one seed till we get to the finals. And that's what I'm really impressed about with them. And they're on a what, 10-game winning streak?
I was just
Yeah.
counting. They're like 13 out of the last 15.
They are one of 12 teams who in 60 games have 50 wins, and half
Yeah.
of them won the finals, I think it was, or made it to the finals or something like that. But it's when
So
you're
they
being
14
talked
and
about
3 in
in
their
it.
last set. They 14-3 in their last 17. Their last 10, 9-1. I mean, however you want to do it, it's a good number. Like however you want to break that down, if you want to go since All-Star break, if you want to go to last week, you know what I mean? It's
I still give the slight edge to Boston again, just because they've been there. They won a championship. They remember how to get there. But this Cleveland team,
I'm with you. I think
it's something to be concerned with if you're Boston. I'll say that.
I like it too. I think we're in the 7-game series. I think they'll be fine in a 7-game series against New York because I don't think New York has enough bigs. And they're big. And
Who Boston?
No, I was saying Cleveland against New York. I think they'll be fine in a 7-game series against New York, Cleveland, because New York doesn't have enough bigs. And Cleveland's
if
big,
they play them, I don't see them playing them because
they
New
may
York
not.
is three.
I guess what
Are
I'm
you
about
saying
to,
if New York falls down? I got you. Okay.
I'm about to go through the top echelon of the East as far as with Cleveland.
What Cleveland,
to your point, can make the finals or not make the finals.
Yeah.
So if you say it's New York, I think they can beat New York because New York doesn't have enough bigs to match up. And
Mitchell is back. No, Mitchell Robinson is back. Yeah, he is back. But he started his first game one day last week, played in his first game one day last week. So he's back.
But they don't. New York doesn't rely on their bigs for points. Just same way as Cleveland don't rely on their bigs for points. So I think that's a wash, and I think Cleveland be fine with their backcourt.
Mm-hmm.
And
Spotted and Garland.
Correct. I think they'll be fine. I think the problem with Boston, Cleveland may have in the 7-game series is because the same issue I think would probably help them in the New York series. I think might hinder them in the Boston series because the bigs don't score enough for me. Boston bigs score, especially when you start talking about Porzingis. And everybody want to talk about how long
Horford. About Horford. Yeah.
Horford is still there, and he still got that deadly 14 to 16 foot jumper. And from time to time, if he on a hot night,
when he shoot like this,
he can shoot the 3. You know what I mean? It comes and goes with him, but on like Big said, any given night, I shine like Mike Jackson, Jordan. You know what I mean? Horford will give you a 25-point game, because then he'll get hot from 3 or whatever. So what I'm saying is, I think in a long series, I think Boston, and to your point, and the added, they've been there and done that, and and had that advantage. I think in a 7-game series, I might lean more toward Boston than I would Cleveland, but that would be the Eastern Conference Finals. That's still. There
are no other teams to talk about. I agree with you. It's either Boston, New York. Milwaukee got who is their coach?
Oh, Doc.
Okay, so thank you. All right, there we go. Yeah. Indiana, they've been playing better. They're healthy, right? But
think long, think wrong.
Yeah, and just don't trust it. Detroit is young; they're not ready yet, and then that's it. As far as teams that are 1 through 6, who will most likely continue to be playoff teams, not just play-in teams.
Yeah. And then funny thing about this, we wasn't saying this 2 years ago, but I give Missoula the big edge over Kenny Atkins.
Ooh, okay. The one thing I will say, I like Atkins when he was with
and I'm not saying I don't like Kenny Atkins.
I liked him when he was at Brooklyn because of what he was able to do when everybody got traded or left because of free agency. He still kept the team together. It's just that, to your point with Missoula, the series with Golden State, he learned from it, right? He followed.
He been through the fire. He got thrown. He got thrown that team. So
in a difficult situation, right?
Yeah, and I know we ragged Missoula, so now we're gonna give him his prop. We ragged Missoula.
Well, yeah, because he should have swept the Hawks. Let's be honest, he should have.
Correct.
But that was his first ever playoff series.
He's done something that Ainge couldn't do. That not Ainge. Ainge was always a GM. Not Ainge.
Brad Stevens.
Brad Stevens couldn't do. Yeah. And Duka couldn't do.
Well, Udoka probably could have if given that if Udoka had the time next year, that's possible.
Udoka was there when they beat the Nets, even though Durant's foot was over the line. If Durant wore a 16 instead of a 17, you know what I mean? So he was there, and what happened in the next round? Now, granted, in the offseason, he got out of there. I'm just saying, in the same amount of time, Missoula has gone, you know what I mean, to the finals twice. When you start looking at his coaching time,
he went back to back.
Brad Stevenson and the same amount of, probably less time. So I'm now granted to the same team, they've added some pieces. The team's matured.
They matured. Thank you.
I get all that as well.
Right.
But I can't. And then this year to be to be a top 3 team.
I think they've been two most of the year.
Most of the year, and they just going through. Not going through the motions, but they know this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Correct.
So,
But I gotta give him the credit, but the maturity process as well, right? Because Udoka, in the 2 years that he's been in Houston, they've been around a 4 or 5 seed the majority of the year. Well, they haven't slipped. They haven't slipped down below the 6 mark in being a guaranteed playoff team. And the West is better than the East, correct? If given the same opportunity, had he not been let go at Boston, I think they still would have made the finals. That's just where they were trending. Of course, we'll never know, but I feel confident that they would have made the finals that year.
Gotcha. Okay.
But no, I'm not taking anything away from Missoula, though.
I'm giving a little bit extra credit because, like I said, it would. Everybody would have understood.
Oh, so he get a bonus question down at the bottom for extra credit.
Yeah, you do. Listen, man. Hey,
what you got? What's the capital of the U.S.? You gonna give him something easy or something?
Nah. Well, nowadays you can tell me it was the Gulf of Mexico compared to what it is
now. What was the Gulf of Mexico formerly called? The Gulf of Mexico.
There you go. You know what I mean?
Trick question.
Hey, listen. If you find out a kid is walking home from school and he ain't got nowhere to stay, and you find out he got a little bit of extra stuff going on that most kids don't have, and he's still performing, you kind of give him that boost. You kind of give him that bump. He was in a house that was going through it.
As mentioned, Boston is number 2. They are 43-18. Is there a chance?
Some credit.
Is there a chance, looking at the 2-3 and New York being 40-20, 2.5 back? Is there a chance that New York overtakes Boston before the playoffs start? I think we're down to 20 games. 20, 22, depending on.
I mean, there's a chance, but I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that what we see right now in the top 4 is going to remain the top 4.
The top 4, you say?
Yeah.
So that's Cleveland, Boston, New York, Milwaukee, in that order.
Yes.
Ooh. So the Pacers don't have a shot of coming up, and
everybody got a shot. I'm telling you. The 4 right now, what you see as is how it's going to remain till playoffs.
Okay. I don't think New York moves up to the 2 spot, only because I think I have to look back. They still have 3 or 4 games remaining against Cleveland and Boston. And that'll be the tiebreaker, right? Because they haven't beaten either one of them yet. And it will come down to a tiebreaker. I don't see New York going on another run of winning, 7 straight, and in those 7, them not having to play Cleveland or Boston.
Yeah.
And in that reason, I still have them at 3. Now at 4 or 5 is Milwaukee and Indiana. I try to tell people about Indiana. They were going to be back once they got healthy. I can see Indiana taking a 4 spot and Milwaukee dropping. Call it the fact that their head coach is Doc Rivers, and this is it ain't shade on Doc. It's just the facts are what they are.
I mean, this is history.
It is. I've seen this story several times. I mean, how many times can you come out with a Toy Story, right? Were they on iteration 5 at this point? I've seen the story. I know what's going to happen. And at this point, Doc is going to be Doc. He is going to find some way to screw the series up. It is what it is. I think it might serve them better not to be up 3-1.
I mean, but I say you talking about screwing the series up, but are you saying? But I'm saying
even getting to there, even getting.
I'm saying he's going to be a 4. So right now is only a game.
Doc gonna let the disappointment start early. He's gonna let the disappointment start early.
4 through 6 is a game between Milwaukee, Indiana, and Detroit.
How did you talk about the Cowboys this year, right?
Oh,
you said that they got this exactly. The disappointment started early, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't think the disappointment going to start to get the playoffs with Doc because we only got 20 games left. So I think he'll be fine. It is when it comes down. He doesn't start disappointing until the playoffs. So everybody's watching.
It's coming early.
That's
coming
fine.
early. It's coming early. Watch.
I feel like, hey, listen. So, okay, if it coming early, so what, he going to wind up at 6 when it's all set? So what's your 6? What's your play in your not play?
They are who they are. In order?
I know. I'm saying what is your prediction as far as play off teams? Play off teams, not play in teams. Play off 1 through 6.
Switch to 4-5. Cleveland, Boston, New York, Indiana, Milwaukee, Detroit.
Okay, so you got Milwaukee at 5 and Indiana.
Milwaukee at 4.
And
Indiana at 4.
And at 4. Milwaukee at 5.
Detroit stays at 6. Correct. Yes.
So, but based off your energy, I'm going to have Milwaukee at 6. And everybody move up there. If he go Doc, gonna be Doc. If Doc gonna be Doc, they gonna be 6.
No, but they've been 3-4 for the longest though. That's what I'm saying. They're not going to have home court in that first round. I feel that they need home court unless they get up 3-1.
You saying
Milwaukee needs home court unless they get up 3-1. Then we all know what's going to happen. But they need home court.
So
Indiana has enough bodies. Indiana has enough bodies to throw at them. No, they losing the series. They're losing the series.
That's fine. I'm with you on losing the series. I'm saying end of the regular season. That's why I said the end of the regular season. I don't have the top 4 changing. But you said Doc going Doc early. Your energy is then it would be Cleveland, Boston, New York, Indiana 4, Detroit 5, Milwaukee
6.
And that's not
you know what? That could happen. They only a game.
They tie with Indiana. They only a game ahead of Detroit.
You know what? I'll stand on it. They drop it.
So Doc going Doc. Then the docking is he gonna be at 6 before this season is in the next 20 games.
I'll stand on it.
That's what I'm trying to get you. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get you to say. If you're gonna go when he go do it early, then they gonna be at 6 before the season.
I'll stand on it. I'll stand on it then. Give me Detroit at 5 then. What up, though?
hey, listen.
Because the way All-Star Cade Cunningham is playing right now, I'll take it right now. They are playing extremely well for a young team. Granted, we'll see what happens in the playoffs. But for a young team, they're playing extremely well. They're playing together. They are winning close games. It's just everything is starting to align for them as a team. So, yeah, I'll stay with that then.
Okay, no problem. I'm gonna keep. I said I keep the 4 the same, but you know what? You kind of taught me in a little something, So
come
I'll
on,
go.
come on over. It's
I'll
okay.
go. I'm not gonna go as hard as you going, but I'll go for the regular season. I agree with you in the postseason.
And
He's
the
not
plays.
going to do
Okay,
that.
gotcha.
But regular season, when it ends, Cleveland will be 1, Boston will be 2. I don't think Boston will catch up with being back 7.5 games. New Yorkers remain at 3.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana 4. Milwaukee 5. I think Detroit stays at 6.
That's fine. That's fine.
I think. I mean, I think
You made
all
me
this
go
is
out there to limb, so I had to go on
all
out
this is
there. I ain't
all
gonna
this is
back
new.
down.
No problem. All this is new territory for me in reference to Detroit.
Excuse
All
me.
this is new territory for them. So I think they'll continue to win. They'll hold off Miami, but they'll be at 6. But I can see Milwaukee and Indiana flip flopping. So
Okay. Speaking of which, you mentioned holding off Miami. Currently, they are 7th, followed by Orlando, just a half game back from them. In the
Orlando
home
can't stay
time,
healthy.
yeah.
So
Who did they
they just
just?
lost.
Who did they just lose? Oh my goodness.
Bandera just came back, but then they lost the other. They lost the other forward.
And I'm drawing a blank now. Who did they just? Yes, but they, for health reasons, they're not gonna make it.
I mean, there'll be a play-in team, but
They'll be a play-in.
But either way, I mean,
they're a dangerous playing team, right?
yeah,
With
they're a half
one
game
game to
behind
play.
Miami. Hawks are 2 games back of Miami. And then you got Chicago.
They just
4 back of Miami, 3 back of Atlanta, 4 back of Orlando. So I think your 7, 8, and 9 are set. So as far as the play, I don't see any much. I mean, maybe
Jalen
again,
Suggs. Jalen
okay.
Suggs.
So maybe Orlando can move up, but like I said, they just took on another, and he's gone for the year. So it's not even
more than likely. It was his left knee.
I mean?
They're removing cartilage fragment in his left knee. He's out indefinitely.
Definitely, but I don't see him coming back.
And then before that, the center Wagner, he was out for the year for torn ACL.
Yeah,
they just
maybe it was Wagner that I knew he was out.
He got for the year.
Still, just as soon as they get their horse back, they lose 2 other people. So
yeah.
Atlanta now has a chance to maybe make win a play-in game and get in because of injuries to Orlando.
Atlanta could move up to 7th.
Yeah, they're only a game back of Orlando, so they have the opportunity to gain some ground.
They don't have the head-to-head with Orlando. They're going to have to get ahead of them outright. And I think that if they're a game back of them, so that means they're 1.5 back of Miami. They could make it back up to the 7th spot. I mean, Atlanta at one point was in the 5th spot.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, the injury to
that and went on 2 weeks of horror.
Yeah, that too. So between the tough road trip and losing Jalen Johnson, they started to fall back down. And then with the trade, I think it's worked out fairly well with Karis LeVert. Again, it's going to take time. I mentioned this last week. It's going to take time to get on the same page with someone who's averaging 12 assists a game. Well, just under 12 now. Averaging just under 12 assists a game in trade to get on the same page and understand where certain players are going to be when running certain plays and where they like the ball, that type of thing. But I think enough repetition will have them probably in the 7th spot. I can see Atlanta moving up to the 7th spot in the play-in and having at least one game or maybe 2 at home playing against the likes of a beaten up Orlando team, which if they're not healthy, they could win. Yeah. Miami, they just beat them a week ago. So, yeah, I could see Atlanta making the playoffs even though in the play-in, I think I'm confident in saying Atlanta will make the playoffs. Having to play either Cleveland in the first round or Boston in the first round, either as a 7 or 8 seed.
Yeah,
and getting a game or two in either one because of the success that they've had this year in playing both teams. Now, granted, of course, it's a lot different in the series, as in playing a team one night and then playing several other teams and then coming back and playing them later. But having beat both teams this year, they'll be confident enough to win at least one, possibly 2 games.
Two, if they can make the playoffs, yeah. Well, right now, people. Playoffs. Yeah. And even though we don't like talking about teams when they below 500, is they are going to add Dynamite Stick finally to Philadelphia?
Yes, they are. In case you haven't heard, Embiid is done for the year. It's time to blow up the team. I don't know what you do at this point.
Get what you can get from Maxey. Ain't nobody gonna pick up. I told you last we took the mask off Embiid and Greg Oden showed up.
Was there. Do you blow up the team or do you just
Dynamite Stick?
Build around what you have?
No, Dynamite Stick.
Why not?
So let's look at their roster, the way they're built now.
I mean, of course, like you say, nobody's going to take Embiid. It is what it is at this point.
You got
as you mentioned, you got
budding star and Maxey, but Maxey's not built in the way to carry a team. He is truly a Robin. He is never going to be a Batman.
Paul George isn't the. Paul George isn't the same. He's not the same.
He's over the hill too.
Man, he called him over the hill. He's still. Well, no, the other night you don't know if you're getting playoff P or pandemic P. Yeah,
more pandemic
than playoff.
I'm gonna say something that applies to him. I had a conversation the other day, and I was like, I see less of my future than I see of my past.
Yeah.
Paul Hill sees all his past. He ain't got a future.
Oh. You got McCain. I think McCain and Maxey will be.
That's okay. You start with them because you got to go ahead and let Tobias go.
Tobias ain't even there, is he? No, Tobias ain't there. No, he's not even there.
Tobias? Oh, then
yeah, he ain't there. That's it. That's what I'm saying. You build around those 2 players. That's it.
Well, that's still starting over.
But that's what I'm saying. They are more than likely going to have a top 5 pick.
But I would try to get some other.
Nobody who's coming there
with Maxey. Who can I get? What can I get as far?
But
as
you got it. Uptown Saturday night, you got to bring ass to get ass. So I mean, I don't see how they have anything to offer. You talking about blow it up and start. The 2 pieces that you're keeping are Maxey and McCain. Nobody else want anything else on the team. Like
I'm
nothing.
Getting rid of, and I'm trying to get rid of
Maxey
so I can get some.
Well, why? You can build around that. You can build around him.
I don't believe you can build around Maxey. And I'm not saying Maxey's not a good player. I just don't think you can build around him. I think he needs to have he needs to be where he, you know what I mean, is not going to be.
What is Maxey? 26, 20 maybe?
That might be 24.
He's 24. Yeah, 24. Okay. Yeah. You build around him.
Andre Drummond
he's your piece.
Joel Embiid might as well be old. Paul George is old. Eric Gordon is old.
Who else is on the team? Is Oubre still on the team, isn't he?
Yeah, yep. Kelly Oubre.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have anything to offer.
Yeah, you do. Maxey.
No, you don't give up Maxey. That's like And that's the second thing, because I was about to make a huge comparison. That's below Luka getting traded away.
Okay, and then if you don't, and if I'm Maxey, I'm forcing my way out. Because now you asking a 24-year-old to go through a 3 to 4 year rebuild,
which is fine. That'll put him at 27 with a young roster that you played together for 3 years. You're not a catalyst for it. Now you can go ahead.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, okay, you're not going to trade him within the division or the conference, right? So he has to go out west. What do you have out west that somebody's willing to trade Maxey for?
Man, they got Kyle Lowry. I forgot they had Kyle Lowry. They old too.
But again, if you know what? Okay. I don't know if this would work. I really don't. I probably shouldn't even say it. But we all know that Phoenix is struggling, right? Durant doesn't want to be there. He wants to be with a playoff team, so I doubt he'll go. But
you can say what if you got they're turning to the Philadelphia Suns. So no.
Okay then.
If I'm Philadelphia, I'm not trying to bring in any more quote unquote megastars or trying to build any quote unquote super teams. Let's do this from the ground up and organically through the draft or whatever it is. And that's why I say the piece that I can get multiple inquiries on would be Maxey.
But who's going to take him?
I don't know. Somebody might take him, and somebody might take him, and it's a fool born every day. Just got to find him.
Okay.
Shoot, they were the fools. So I probably would have never did Paul George. I probably would have never did.
With Dallas, no. Kyrie and Maxey, because AD, we don't know when he'll play again. As far as the potential, I'm not
and when he do play, we don't know how long he's going to play.
Yeah. That's what I mean. We don't know when he's going to play as far as being the AD that we know that can carry a team. I don't know if he'll ever get back to that level. Definitely he'll play again. But at that level of an all-star type, MVP type caliber player, I don't know. So you're unlikely to trade for him. Harden is not going back to Philly. No. Golden State is not going to pull the trigger. Minnesota, him and Ant-Man, what would you have to give up? Would you have to give up? I don't know. I don't see anybody else above 5 and up like Houston making any changes to their roster.
Could he go to Miami?
He stays in conference.
That's fine. Can he go to Miami?
That'd be like starting over, though. You don't have anything down in Miami. Tyler Hero.
I rather work. I rather take my chances with
Spo.
With Spo and Godfather.
Then Nurse.
I mean, I like Nurse, but I mean, Nurse seemed to. I mean,
Nurse got dealt a bad hand, right? He was expecting to have something, and he didn't have anything.
Health wise, yeah,
correct.
I mean, I'm with you. Maybe they do keep him, but I think if you want to start this rebuild and quickly try to turn,
but it's already a rebuild. That's the thing. You can't. That's what you
propose when they brought in.
It's not. You're not starting a rebuild. It is a rebuild.
When you brought in Paul George, you got Embiid, you got Maxey, and now you don't have 2 out of the 3, or definitely it wasn't a rebuild this year, but it turned into a rebuild.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. You're not rebuilding. It just is what it is.
They need to keep losing so they can get some more tennis balls in the.
I'm telling you, they're going to have a top 5 pick. They are going to have a top 5 pick, and at that point, I don't know. Maybe they go. I don't know. Of course, it won't be a guard. More likely to be a forward. But we'll get to number one team in the nation in a second, and anybody for that roster possibly. But yeah, I don't. It would definitely be a forward or a center. I think they might be less likely to go with a center because of having probably PTSD.
Well, I mean, you're gonna need a big.
Yeah, but a forward. It'll be a forward.
Flag coming out this year.
Oh, he gonna be number one pick or number two. He won't go. He won't go below two. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They would have to get the number one pick for him to go there.
Okay. Well, LOP, Philadelphia, got the Eagles.
Yeah, they do. Atlanta had a rough home stretch. They won last Monday night while we were on air. They beat Miami, but then they lost to Miami again. They split and then lost to OKC, and they have Memphis tonight before they play Milwaukee tomorrow night. They'll be home for a little while. I think they have Milwaukee, Indiana twice, Philly. That should be Milwaukee, Indiana twice, and Philly. At least 2-2. They should split with Indiana and beat Philly. I don't know how Milwaukee will play tomorrow. That's a back-to-back for Atlanta. But at least on the home stand for the week, I see at least a 2-2.
They need to make a push. So 2-2, they're gonna still be at 9.
Yeah. Which is
come on, you got a chance to make a move and be in the 7th position with Orlando having injuries, and to your point with Miami may not be in.
Well, the only bad thing is Milwaukee played Saturday against Dallas and they won. And then their next game is here in Atlanta tomorrow night. So they don't have a back-to-back. They'll be rested. That's going to be tough unless the Hawks can feed off the home crowd and not allow Dame to get going and, or late be dying time. Yeah, or Giannis, who's back healthy and has been playing great since the All-Star break. Again, that's why I say 2-2 would be good. 3-1 is the best case scenario. Maybe you steal one from Milwaukee. Maybe they're too rested. You come in, regardless of what happens against Memphis tonight. You still got the sweat on you from playing, so you're loose. You can play at home, play well, sneak one, split with Indiana, and then take Philly.
Okay.
And go 3-1.
Come on, Hawks. Let's go. Let's see what you can do.
All right. Going out west, still the Thunder, who, as just mentioned, played the Hawks. And I didn't realize how good SGA was until I actually saw him. That's a guy that literally can score whenever he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
Inside, outside, and by inside I mean a mid-range, which has virtually gone non-existent, right? Unless you were in Sacramento now, was with the Bulls. DeRozan,
yeah.
Unless you were DeRozan, nobody really had a mid-range game that they were consistent with. But he literally has an all-around game. And it's one of those situations where you look up and he's like, oh, he made a couple of shots back-to-back. Okay, that's his third shot. And he has 15 points. And you're like, where did the other 9 points come from? Like, that should have been his only 6 points of the game. It's just a slow, easy game for him to where he can literally get any shot that he wants to and attacks the basket with ease, whether that's going with his left or to his right. He really is unstoppable. And he talked about it post game of the transition from last year to this year was just learning how to play and understanding different defenses. He doesn't look at, okay, I'm going against Spider tonight. I'm going against Trey tonight. I'm going against Luka tonight. He looks at the team defense and tries to figure out how they're going to play him and then how he reacts to it. That's a dangerous player in a good way, right? When you're not concerned about matchup with a person, you're concerned about how a defense is going to play you. Because that's a situation where, okay, if they're going to try and rush and double team me and try to get the ball out of my hands quicker, all right, tonight I'm going to just have to average 15 assists. I'll score. I'll get my little points here and there where I can, but I'm going to concentrate on this. Okay. Defense is going to, try and have a man down low because they got a big man like Edey, for example, in Memphis. Okay, I know I'm going to have to get my shot up early. I know I'm going to have to pull up and do a float. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's game planning against an entire defense as opposed to what is this one player's tendency in playing against me. And with that, I look for him to be MVP this year. I know we've gone on the train of Jokic winning it just about every year, but I think it's his time now. And also him responding to the comments. And I want to get what do you think? So we can talk about this. When asked about being the face of the game, Ant-Man at the All-Star said that he didn't want to be the face of the game. LeBron doubled down and agreed that we should be talking about SGA and the Thunder as well as Cleveland, and then both sides are playing and how they're playing great ball. And he understood their comments. And he's like, well, being the face of the game is just given to you. The fans, the media, they see the kind of year you're having, and you're just kind of given the moniker of, all right, you're the face of the game, and, embrace it. But, what he's concerned about is his teammates. He mentioned being a good father and husband. Like, that's what his concern is, and all the other stuff would just take place. Do you think we need to have a face of the league? Because there was always that torch that was passing, that was set up by the fans, by the media. Have we finally gotten away from needing a face, or is it time to just start embracing the totality of the game?
Does boxing need a face? Boxing needs. I say boxing. Boxing needs a heavyweight that we can all get behind. Yes, the NBA
needs a face.
So, like, who?
You got to have somebody to market. In other words.
So yeah, correct. So if I say right now, who was the face of Major League Baseball? I bet most people.
Ohtani.
Or if not, then Ohtani in the National League and Aaron Judge in the American League. You know what I mean? So two or whatever. If I was to ask you who was the face of the NFL,
Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes, but then you
not a Jalen Hurts coming into because he just won the Super Bowl.
You have Jalen Hurts, or you have people saying Josh Allen, or you have a few people
Lamar,
Lamar, or whatever the case may be. You gotta have it. You gotta have it. And
the problem
with the NBA right now, the ones that you do have, that's the reason why I started off with boxing. They aren't American born.
SGA is Canadian.
They aren't American born, but he's close enough.
Jokic, right? Jokic has won it the last few years as MVP because more than likely it's the MVP. To your point, it's somebody that's either won a championship recently or they've been in the MVP conversation.
In Oklahoma, this is their second year in a row being a top 4 team, number 1 seed. SGA, well, he has a good nickname. Like he has everything you kind of want to have right now to be the face of the league. I mean, some people could say Ant-Man, but Minnesota is not as good as we thought they were going to be coming from last year to this year. Yeah. And so it's
but that's because Cat left.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. They're adjusting to the trade that they made or whatever. But and after this year, if not SGA, it's gonna be Luka next year. He's gonna be the face.
Well, Luka's in the conversation. He's still in the conversation.
Still on the West. I don't know who to name on the East right now.
Tatum. But it's hard to say Tatum because Brown won the MVP, right? Mm-hmm. And Brown and Nike, because this is also about marketing, right?
Marketing, yeah,
they don't get along. We'll say that they don't get along
right now.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, so it's SG, and so like in the NFL, you have two sides. You have some, I could throw out some other names, like we mentioned, Burrow, Allen, Lamar, whatever. Right now in the NBA, the two people that everybody's still talking about are the two guys that are about to be out the door, and LeBron and Steph.
Yeah. Which is why it's interesting that, and I get Ant's take on it, right? He's like, I'm trying to focus on my team and winning a championship. Like, I'm not focused on, and that's the right response, right? Mm-hmm. Because when you do those things, the face of it comes along with it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, if I put in the hard work and become the best player I can be, all of that comes with it, but I'm not looking to be the face. Yeah. I still want to be me, and he got his little trouble with a fan, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't see him becoming the face because they're still going to consider his personality as something that's not marketable. That's not marketable. Correct.
Yeah. He's still rough around the edges.
And SGA, for all intents and purposes, never had. I mean, Ant just got suspended a game because he got 16 techs. Once you get to 16, you get suspended a game. So SGA, to my knowledge, may have one this year. May.
Yeah.
When you have that type of personality, you are easy to market, right? Yeah. It's the same with the LeBron. Well, true. It's not him. It's not a LeBron. It's not a Steph. To your point.
Yeah. But they also got to win though. Like OKC,
they have. You got to win.
We talk about at least get to the finals. We talk. Even though Dallas made it last year, they've been to the Western Conference Finals and then to the finals. So Luka's been there. You kind of, we have our trade here in Atlanta, but. You had that one quick stint to the Eastern Conference Finals a few years ago, but you flamed out since then, basically. Mm-hmm. So you got to win. So as of right now, I guess to your point, SGA probably would become the face if they can make the finals. One of the faces if they can make the finals. But it would be a heavy laden. To me, it would be a heavy laden leading to the West.
Yeah, I think
even with maybe if Detroit makes some noise, makes a special kind of noise in the playoffs this year, maybe Detroit, what's his name there,
Cade
Cunningham might arise up out of that, maybe whatever. But
what they need. You know what they need. They need Tatum to do what he did the other night when he dropped 30 on. Like 17 shots or something.
I mean, Boston
had like 7 threes. They need to win again. Tatum, you got to be the MVP.
Yeah, they would need if they would win the finals again, and Tatum would need to be the MVP for him to, And right now, but it's looking like, again, Cleveland, Boston probably would be your best chance, your easy choices as far as the two teams that would be in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think it's still wide open in the Western Conference Final. OKC, obviously, but I personally think Denver is built to give everybody a problem.
That's fair.
Joker,
I agree.
Seemed like Murray's catching his groove back. You got Westbrook, and then I'm putting a lot of stock on MPG.
What? Not your boy White Hennessy? You done broke up with your boy White Hennessy? No, y'all ain't cool no more. Y'all still don't text no more.
No, I still got a bottle. I got a bottle here. You know what I mean? I only open it up. If I open it up, they make it this year. I'll take a sip on air.
You take a sip on it.
I'll take a sip on air if they make it. But to me, Michael Porter Jr. is what Ray Allen was to the Boston Celtics when they had Pierce and Garnett. If Ray Allen gets you 16 to 20 a game, they unbeatable. I feel like Michael Porter, in that year, I feel like Michael Porter Jr. is that same. If he's getting 17 to 21, pick your poison now because you don't have nobody to handle that monster in the paint. Then you got Murray at the top of the key. Now you add in a little energy from Westbrook. You know what I mean? And now it's really like, where do I go to stop this team? And I think them being positioned at number 3, all the pressure would be on OKC Young. All the pressure would be on the Lakers with Luka and LeBron. There's no pressure on the champion from less than 2 years ago. You know what I mean? There's no pressure on them at 3.
I'll go.
So I'm basically saying right now, I guess we got to the point now. If you want to ask me who's going to be in the finals with us going 20 games forward into the playoffs, I'm going to say Denver and Cleveland.
Ooh. 2 small markets.
I know the NBA would hate
2 teams. That'll be a good series.
That would be
a good series.
I think at this point in time,
that would be a good series.
I think basketball. I think the NBA needs to have good series. I think the NBA needs to focus on having good series.
As opposed to the face of the game instead of having the face of the game. So you're agreeing with what LeBron and AD was saying. I mean, Ant-Man. Like, let's focus on the teams and the years that they're having.
I think
as opposed
these next
to
few years they need to. These next couple of years they need to.
You know what? That's going to be a seismic shift back, right?
Mm-hmm.
To where it was a situation where you had a team in Boston, in Chicago, in Detroit. You had teams in Houston, in LA, in Portland, right? Yeah, you knew 3 or 4 of the players, but they were a team.
You had a team. You had teams in Milwaukee and Cleveland. They just couldn't get past Chicago.
Couldn't get past the other ones, yeah.
You had teams in Seattle, and we mentioned Portland. They just couldn't get over the hump. Actually, they had teams in Dallas too. Yeah, but they had teams, but they just couldn't get over the hump of the Lakers. So, I think for right now, I think the NBA.
But you can still have both. To that point, you can still have both, but center the attention around the teams and not make it to a situation where you're counting on an SGA to get to the foul line 12 times, right? Is he going to get some calls? Yeah, he's preeminent MVP, an all-star, probably first team All-NBA, no more than second. He's going to get some calls, but make it a team thing to where it's like the Thunder beat whoever.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not a situation where like, oh man, if it wasn't for SGA, no, the Thunder beat them. Yeah. Did you see how? Yeah, SGA got his, but do you see how Caruso now is playing with him? Did you see how Chet? Unfortunately, he twisted his ankle in the Atlanta game, so we'll see. His status. But yeah, how Chet played. Jalen Williams, how he's playing so well. You talk about the team in its totality as opposed to just saying, oh, it's all because of SGA. Getting back to that might help the NBA in its viewership.
Yeah, I think it would. I mean, at some point, somebody will rise up to be that person or be that guy. But sometimes you got to let that stuff happen organically. And I think the NBA, and, you can stay around too long.
So you saying LeBron can't stand around too long?
And I was trying not to go.
Man, and you talk about me. You talk about me. Man, boy. Oh, my goodness. LeBron, you hear this? LeBron, you hear this? You might have stopped listening after the second part of the show last week, but welcome back, LeBron. Welcome back so you can hear Ace talk about you. Hey, Ace, go ahead, talk about him.
No, so I think what's happening is what's happening to the NBA with the stars you have now. guys are around a little too long.
Like who?
Literally a little too long. I mean, I
Like
just
who?
named Steph too. Steph's been around too. I mean,
too long? Stepping around too long? He dropped 56 the other night.
correct. And we might call it Steph Day because it seemed like every February the 27th or whatever it is, he averaged 56. He had a 50 plus. Gonna start calling it Steph Day for the last 3 years. You know what I mean? But
but he was unconscious though. 12 threes.
Yeah, I mean, when he started shooting,
12 threes.
It's
but it's it was the efficiency
like
with his shot though.
Yeah.
What was he, 16 to 25?
Like the ocean. It looked like the ocean for him. But you can start, the NBA to the marketing part is easy, right? But what happens is though from the NBA, from a fan perspective, NBA, when you don't give the light to other players that get lost, this can happen. But I don't think the NBA has even done that really now. I think it's just been a little low. We didn't have anybody come out of college until maybe this last couple of classes to really start taking the mantle. So, we had, Ant-Man is what, in year 5, year 4?
So, yeah, I think so.
4? Yeah. You got the maturity of Boston with Brown and Tatum. You got a few things. So, and then you got
Luka's only 25.
Luka's only 25.
And now he's with a preeminent brand in the NBA.
A preeminent brand. Yeah. You got some young boys in New York in a big market.
Yeah.
With Brunson and
Bridges.
Those guys, Bridges or whatever. So, it takes a little time too and for pieces to fall. But I think since they fall, to your point, next couple of years, let's focus on teams and let's see who rises like the Phoenix out of this to become the face of the team. Let's get LeBron to have his war tour, his farewell tour.
Waleed, when you still dropping 40 at 40 though, and I mean all credit to him because of the way that he's playing right now.
I mean the same with Steph. Like Waleed, when I can get 56 on any given night. But at some point, we got to give y'all world tour flowers, and you got to go. We got to,
Boy, you trying to push him out, boy? You like Belichick? You age discriminate.
I'm doing right now. I'm trying to cut the Social Security. I'm trying to
drain the swamp. You're trying to drain the swamp. We should be laughing at that, man. This a folks going through some stuff right now, man.
Hey, but. It's a true example.
You got to laugh while you crying, right?
You cry. We already said sports can imitate real life, right? So
they parallel.
So,
man, boy, I'm to defend LeBron since you talking bad and trying to kick him out the league. LeBron, my guy, had 40 points.
You can't even say it with a straight face. That's how you know he ain't your guy.
I'm so sincere. My guy.
Can't even say it. But go ahead.
Is on his own world tour right now, dropping 40 every 5th night right now, playing amazing. Had a chase down block, iconic of the block that when Cleveland beat Golden State in the finals, correct. He is one of the best players I have ever seen, and part of it is due to modern technology and medicine.
But call you? You ain't tell me.
I sound like Kendrick Perkins right now. I sound like Perkins backtracking.
Did you get a call? I don't know about it. But go ahead.
Let me check my account. LeBron is one of the best players right now in the NBA. I am impressed with him and how well he's been playing. Yeah, clear. But no, all jokes aside, I have for the last few years, I have no problem in criticizing a person's game, and I have never taken anything away from him being, to me, again, the second best player that has ever played the game. that's me. I'll have Jordan 1. I will have LeBron 2. Had he gotten a couple more rings, then I probably would have had him 1. But the way he has taken care of his body and been able to play for so long and not had a significant injury that could have derailed his success is incredible.
Yeah, that's why you can't compare him to other players, because you don't really see this go on often in any sport. You see it right now with Ovechkin with the Capitals. Yeah. He in year 23 and 24. So I mean, we're seeing some anomalies the last 10 years.
Brady in the NFL.
Brady in the NFL. So, not knocking their numbers, but their numbers are going to be skewed because they played so long.
Well, yeah. But still, it's not like he's around averaging 15 a game, right?
No, he's still a top 10 player in the league.
He's averaging close to 29 points a game. I think they showed the stats that he's averaging numbers when he won the MVP like 7 years ago. So to be in that same stat comparison to years ago when you were on your MVP performance just shows how well, like I said, 1, you taking care of yourself, but 2, you're still able to play at a high level. Yeah. Now, I know a lot of people will talk about where it's a different game, and it's true. It is different. Yeah. But still, you're still performing better than 15 points a game.
Now with Luka there, we'll probably see, and we're kind of seeing now they're in number 2 in the Western Conference at 30-21. But him still scoring at a high level, he's impactful, but not impactful to beat the better teams when we get to the playoffs. And so, where in his younger days when he was scoring this and add 5 points, when he was scoring 29, but he was averaging 34, but he was affecting 70% of the scoring for the team. Right. He's not at that level anymore, and so he is relying on other players to carry the load.
As well he should. I'm
just saying. So we'll see if Luka can be that for him going in the playoffs. I don't think the way they're currently constructed in a 7-game series. I said this last week, that there are a couple of teams that are better than them. And
when you see them night in and night out, as opposed to seeing them once every 15 games. Yeah.
So
I just don't want the Lakers to win, and it has nothing to do with LeBron and him getting championships closer to Jordan and changing the GOAT debate. It's just because I can't stand JJ Redick. My hate for Duke, anything Duke, right? Is going to set a bad precedent that a player who had a podcast became a head coach without any coaching, right?
Yeah.
Not rec league, not at the Y, no coaching. Not even your child's team can get an NBA head coaching job and do well in the playoffs and make it to a finals.
I got you.
That type of nepotism isn't good for the NBA.
Hookup, so however you want to call it.
Yes.
I'm with you. I don't think when it comes to a 7-game series, they match up well.
I hope they get swept, and I hope he looked like he gets out-coached. Well, I take that back because LeBron is coaching. LeBron is coaching. LeBron is coaching.
They're not gonna get swept. I think they, right now 2-7.
Well,
they can play.
It depends on who they play.
The first round.
Oh, you said first round. Yeah, first round. Yeah.
First round could be either Golden State or Minnesota. I think they'll be fine there. Be interesting, but they'll get a test there.
But then they got play a Denver.
Denver,
Memphis.
Houston. Maybe Memphis, but I think their ceiling is the second round.
Yeah, but I hope they get swept in the second round, and it looks bad.
The way
And again, that has nothing against LeBron. That's just one person on the coaching staff. I ain't even talking about the rest of them. It's just that one person on the coaching staff.
You got the Lakers looking like 50 Cent memes.
I know.
What I do?
Y'all got to suffer because of that. You got to suffer because of that. Sorry to that man.
But yeah, I currently, but what you're going to be asking for two guys to do through 3 playoff series, I think is a lot. And then one of those guys, to your point, being in his 40s, is asking a lot. And I don't see it. I see them getting to a second round and having a bad matchup. Maybe making a Western Conference final, but still having a bad matchup.
Speaking of possibly playing Golden State, since Jimmy's got there, they won 7 of 10. Mm-hmm. I think that they're in a similar situation, the same one, where they'll finish the regular season strong, but in a playoff series,
second round.
I don't know.
I think it's second round, and that's it for Golden State.
But that means that So you saying they would beat the Lakers then in the first round? If you're saying they can make it past, make it to a second round.
No, right now they're tied with the Clippers to be in 6, which would be a play-in. I mean, would be a playoff. They would get Denver. Now they would get beat first round.
Okay. All right. Well, if it's Denver, then that's good. Yeah. I don't know.
It's literally 2 through 6. Actually, 2 through the whole 2 through 10 is 7 games apart in the West.
Yeah,
and 2 through 5 is a game and a half. And then if I add 6 through 10, it's 7.
Yeah.
So anybody go on a 3-game winning streak, somebody go on a 3-game losing streak. You can have a flip-flop from between 8 and 4. 8 can go to 4, and 4 can go to 8.
Yeah.
So I think for the Lakers, it's all about matchups and who you want to see in the first round. For the second round, you more than likely going to wind up against probably a bigger team in Memphis or in Denver, and a deeper team in Houston or AKC. That's why I say they're a second round ceiling with the Lakers.
It's going to be interesting. That's all I'll say as to where teams fall and where they go, and how.
And I don't know why. I don't want to count out Phoenix.
They done. I think they're done mentally.
You think they're done? Okay.
Mentally. I think they're done mentally. And if you don't have it mentally, you can't drum it up physically.
Drum it up, yeah. Okay, I'm with you. And it'll be interesting to see what Dallas can do when AD comes back. If it's enough time for them to make
if he's able to come back at the end.
Yeah. So West is going to be interesting.
I
want to see the text messages that LeBron sent you, or his agent or something sent you tonight.
No habla inglés. Rich Paul don't know each other.
I ain't even get a little side text or nothing. You at least have me included in the text messages. I may not know who it was, but at least I can say, you know what.
You just said Paul. I didn't put Rich in front of it so people don't know. It's like, Paul is calling.
Hey, y'all, he even let me on the group chat.
Oh man. All right, let's stay with basketball. Let's go to the college ranks. Yeah, you kind of alluded to it from the very beginning about South Carolina and the women, and maybe now they are playing for something bigger than themselves, right? With the unfortunate fires that are taking place not too far from Columbia, but they won a key game yesterday to, at the time, have a share of the SEC championship.
Regular season.
Regular season, correct.
And
Then of course, and then Texas won. So now those two teams were sharing it, and now they had to flip a coin to see who would be the number one seed in the SEC tournament coming up. Carolina won the flip. Do you agree with that coin toss of deciding?
This ain't the first time that's happened. It's happened in the men's a few times. I feel like they should go out and somebody should have a shoot around.
I was gonna say a one-on-one. I was gonna say a one-on-one.
Not one-on-one. I don't want nobody to get hurt.
Oh, hurt.
Let's play
okay.
Horse. Right. I don't want nobody to get hurt. Let's play horse. Or be like, listen, all right, if the games, y'all end up with obviously the same number of wins and losses, then like who has the higher shooting percentage? Who had the higher
point differential? Point differential.
Different. Something that on the floor
counting.
I just don't want to leave it to
a coin flip.
A coin flip. It seems like so empty. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just I don't.
I didn't like that.
Like keep going through until you find something that you aren't equal in. You know what I mean?
Who is the second team? How did each team play against the second best team? Then that determines it. Something. Yeah. Something within the concept. Yeah, something like that.
What's your strength of schedule? That's why I said I wouldn't want to even go to strength of schedule, because sometimes you don't make up this schedule from 2 or 3 years, and it's not your fault that this year might have been weaker than the previous year. So I may stay away from strength of schedule. But what you can't
point differential between the teams that you've played.
Yeah, you can't
in common.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can use your, like I said, shooting percentage for the season, free throw percentage for the season, who had more steals, who had more, you know what I mean?
But I would all do it in conference, though. I wouldn't take the games that were outside the conference, or I would only do it with the games that we had that we played the same opponent. Yeah. Correct. Because you may not play everybody in the SEC.
Correct. Yeah.
So of the common games we played, who had the point differential, to your point, however other measures you want to use, how did those match up? Something like that.
Yeah, something that
I can live with that as opposed to a coin toss.
Yeah. Because then also every once in a while you're gonna have a handshake. Hey, listen, I might get up by 25, but I'm gonna win this.
Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. It's not personal.
I'm in this race with whoever's number 2.
And that'll be toward the end of the year, right? You won't know at the very beginning of the year, because you're going to be respectful, because you don't know how your season's going to play out. But that last week,
come January, going to February, listen, I'm letting you know right now, Vanderbilt. You know what I mean? Because you can figure probably both of them play. You know what I mean? Like, I'm using Vanderbilt for example. I'm letting you know right now, Vanderbilt. I seen you played Texas last week. They only beat you by 17.
I got to beat you by 20.
I don't beat you by 34.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're going to see about 6-7 more shots than I normally probably wouldn't have taken with 5 minutes left in the game. But this is why. So to let your players know, you know what I mean?
It ain't personal.
Running the score up is not personal. It's just, So but a coin flip, it just seems so.
That's so disappointing.
Like y'all did something like they did something without the public seeing. Like it don't seem like it seemed.
The coaches were there. Because Don came out and said, "Hey, we won the coin toss." I saw it, but it's like
for the general public, we like nah. So if y'all can't use the stats, then y'all need to go out there and play horse. You know what I mean? You be on one end and somebody on one end, and let's see who. We gotta see it play out on the court some kind of way. Like I said, this is not the first time we've seen this in the men's side as well. And I don't think we didn't like it then either.
Yeah, that's true. So congratulations to Texas having to share the SEC championship, finishing the year #1 in the regular season. Number 2, USC. Juju.
Southern Cal. Let's make sure you know.
Right. Oh, yeah, distinction. Oh, sorry.
Cal.
Ooh. It's something about UCLA that brings out the best in her, right? Because
rivals supposed to.
I mean,
you don't get up for your rival. You know what I mean? Who you gonna get up for?
She went off of 38-11.
Again,
I think she played 30 minutes. I think she scored a point a minute, literally. I think she played 38 minutes. They said, and had a key block. She literally affected both ends of the court throughout the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they finished number 2 in the rankings. Third is UConn, 28-3. UCLA drops down to 4. UCLA is 27-2. Guess who their 2 losses are?
USC.
They do not want to see them in.
Everybody might have a third loss coming in the tournament in the Pac-12 tournament or whatever, Big Ten, whoever they're now. They gonna get a third loss.
You 27-2. You could beat everybody except the one across town in your own city. Literally. You can beat anybody else, right? Except your team that is your rival across town. South Carolina moved up to 5. Notre Dame finished at 25-4. They're 6. For the regular season, NC State finished at 7th at 24-5. TCU won another game. They finished 8-20-3.
They got the regular season Big 12.
Big 12, yeah. Congratulations, TCU. 9 is LSU, 27-4, and then 10th.
Yeah, so they 2 out of their 4 losses are
South Carolina. And then Oklahoma, 23-6.
I think one to Texas. I can't remember who their 4th loss is.
Yeah. That's one of them. If they outside the SEC, we can beat them. But if they're inside the SEC, LSU struggle with the top 2 teams. And again, that's not a knock. It just shows you how tough the SEC is this year in its top teams. With that being said, this is going to be
1 through 6 can literally win the national championship.
The championship, yeah.
And the women's side, 1 through 6 for sure. Like I wouldn't put up an argue with you on no argument 1 through 6.
1 through 6. Yes.
Like there's no argument. If you say USC gonna win it, I'd be like, okay, I get it.
Right.
You say UConn win, I say, oh, you know what, I get it.
Right.
South Carolina, I understand. Notre Dame got the best backcourt. I understand.
Yep. Yes.
You know what I mean? Texas has beaten South Carolina and LSU and whoever else. I understand. 1 through 6. There's no argument with me.
So who's gonna be the final? Who will be the first? Who will be the teams that will have the top 4 seeds going into March Madness? Who do you think?
You still got to perform well in your conference conference. So I'm not saying you got to win the conference championship, but I think Texas just got to win 2 games.
They need to make it to the championship game.
I think they make it to the semifinals. They'll be fine. I don't.
Well, they have a first round bye. And then they'll go. So they're automatically in the quarterfinals. Mm-hmm. So to win 2, you're in the finals. That'll be quarterfinals and semifinals.
Yeah. So you went to it. So to me, there's got there's 2.
They can't be one and done. They can't win the quarters and lose the semi.
All right. I mean,
they have to make the finals.
You lose South Carolina?
No, they wouldn't even see them there. They wouldn't even see them into the finals. If they lose to LSU, maybe. No, LSU would probably be a 3 seed more than likely. So
yeah, I feel like win one game in the SEC tournament, they're number 1 seed. Is kind of what I'm telling you for Texas. USC, I think they got to win 2 games. I think UCLA would need to win the conference championship to get a 1 seed. South Carolina would need to win.
You said UCLA would need to win what?
Win their conference championship to get the 1 seed.
UCLA. Okay.
Yeah. I think South Carolina,
even though they've been won a lot of the year, especially after South Carolina lost their first game, they were number one.
We already said they're going to lose to USC again, so they had to beat them in the championship. Because if USC beat them 3 times in three in a row in one season, they're going to be a one lock. Can you see UCLA and USC being in what the Big Ten? That's the Big Ten, right? They're in the Big Ten. I'd be everybody all over the place. So that's why I'm saying UCLA would have to avenge their 2 losses to USC to get the number 1 seed.
So South nothing Carolina, that they've done in the regular season means anything. Okay.
Only 2 losses have been to USC. If you get a third loss, your third loss is to somebody other than USC. I don't think they get a 1 seed.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying they would have to win.
Okay. That's possible.
Because outside of that, then you start kind of really getting into strength of schedule, right? With UCLA. Or the strength of conferences. So are you saying the Big Ten Ladies Conference is better than the SEC Ladies Conference? Because now I'm giving more credence to Texas, South Carolina, and LSU losing. You get what? That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. I understand you saying they've been number 1 basically for 80% of the year, or top 3 for 90% of the year. Yeah. But the 2 losses have been to USC. But if they lose a third time and it's not USC,
they wouldn't see them until the finals, the conference, the tournament finals, the Big Ten finals.
Then whoever would win that game would
they would have to play. Right now, USC is 1, UCLA is 2, Ohio State is 3, Maryland is 4.
In the Big Ten.
In the Big Ten.
Okay.
It's looking like a USC UCLA. So you're saying the winner of the Big Ten is going to have one of the Final Fours, and then the other one have to be a 2 seed.
Yeah, I mean, so this name the top 4 right now in the Big Ten. You just named USC,
Maryland, UCLA,
Maryland's 15. And who's the other one?
Ohio State. They're the 3 seed in the tournament.
Ohio State ain't even. Oh, they're 13.
Ohio State's 13. Yeah,
13, and Maryland's 15. Now, name me my top 4 in the SEC women's.
It's South Carolina, Texas, LSU, and who's the 5th one? I mean, fifth one. Who's the 4th? Kentucky.
3 out of the 4 in top 10. That's why I'm saying Texas or South Carolina.
Both of them could get in.
Could win 1 game and then still wind up with a 1 seed, because
you got to make it to your conference championship game.
Well, that's
if
fine.
You got to be 1 seed, you got to make. So that means 2 wins. That's not 1. That's 2.
Okay, so 2. Okay, so but I'm saying if they was to not get there to your conference to the semifinals, that loss probably would come to an LSU or come, you know what I mean, or come to a Kentucky.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A higher ranked team in the rankings. That's all I'm saying. Here's the thing. Based on these numbers,
here's the thing. You gotta go the assumption that UConn is going to win, right? And go in.
Yeah.
You got to be under the assumption that Notre Dame is going to win and get in. That's 2.
That's ACC. That's 2.
So that only leaves a Big Ten and an SEC left. So whoever wins the tournament is the team that'll be the 1 seed. Whether that
overall 1, or we talking about just the 1 seed in their
1 seed,
brackets?
Just 1 seed in their bracket. The overall number 1 seed Well, more than if Texas wins the SEC, they'll be the overall number 1 seed, right? If it's South Carolina who wins it and Southern Cal beats UCLA for the 3rd time, I think it's going to be Southern Cal and USC as the number 1 overall seed. Because they beat the team twice, and to beat them a 3rd time for a conference championship with only 2 losses.
I'm going to give you Notre Dame. I'm going to give you UConn. And I'm telling you right now, I feel like Texas and South Carolina or LSU, 2 of those teams are going to wind up in the SEC championship game. And I feel like 2 of those teams can wind up with a number 1 seed with the loss. Maybe not. If it was Texas, let's say Texas and LSU made the SEC championship and LSU won and Texas lost, I think Texas would still get a number 1 seed and LSU would get a number 1 seed.
I don't think LSU would get a number 1 seed.
And then
I think they'll be a number 2.
Let's just say Maryland and UCLA or Maryland and USC get to the. I just feel like SEC has a better chance. Women's basketball has a better chance of getting 2 number 1 seeds than the Big Ten.
Okay, so 2 things can be true, right? Yes, the SEC has a better chance of getting 2 in, but that would have to take USC losing in the first round, UCLA losing in their, not first round, but their first matchup in the quarterfinal for that to happen. And it would take a LSU beating Texas in the championship because Texas got to the championship, they're going to be a 1 seed regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Win or lose, Texas make it to the championship game, they're a 1 seed.
Yeah.
The same for South Carolina. LSU would need to win it to be a 1 seed.
Correct. So, I get it. I just we'll see though.
It's going to be a great week. Great week of basketball.
You still got 6 teams who legit can win a championship.
Yes.
And then you got 4 other teams who I have no problem in understanding why people would be happy with it. We could have an argument for them as well. So your top 10 teams in the women's basketball can have a legit chance of winning the national championship.
Yeah. So Wednesday night, get ready, everyone. That's when the conference championships will start, especially for the Big Ten, SEC.
In the best month, baby.
Yeah, it's March. Speaking of the best month being March, how about that Tennessee-Alabama game?
We love it. We love it for Alabama. We love it.
I know.
We love it. Now, man. We ain't worrying about basketball.
So true story. True story. I was down in Opelika, Auburn Saturday, and just sitting around talking with these fans, and we had just saw the end of the Tennessee-Alabama game. First thing a couple of Alabama fans started doing, well, we ain't no basketball school. Like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on now. Just 2 weeks ago, we a basketball school. This is what we do.
Last year when they made the Sweet 16 Elite 8 run. And then I'm going to go back to when they had a little general as the head coach. Listen. If they if they win, they whatever they want to be when they win. When they lose, the story changes.
I'm looking around. I'm like, wow, all of a sudden, y'all ain't no basketball school. Our football is our main thing. Whoa, wait a minute. No, not when out of the top 25, it's like 9 teams in the SEC. Y'all were number 2 just a couple of weeks ago. You were bragging until Auburn came up there and won. Then that started the whole trend of, we still football. Oh, basketball school.
That. I get, y'all finally did something. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh.
Like, oh, really? All right. That's what that is. That's that nonchalant. Okay.
Right. Congratulations to Auburn. Finishing 27-2, still got a game left. But for them to have the SEC championship as a tie, and then thankful for that buzzer beater at the end by Tennessee.
Yeah.
They have the outright SEC championship regular season in men's college basketball. So congratulations, War Eagle. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was the issue with that game. But Auburn, of course, has 2 more games left. A&M ranked. What are they now? They were 19. I want to say. It's a top 25 ranked team. I do know that. 22. I'm sorry, they were 12. They dropped down to 22. They play A&M tomorrow, and then of course the big game Saturday. Yes, down in Auburn to finish out the regular season. I was concerned because I thought Alabama was going to beat Tennessee, and I was concerned that Auburn would look past A&M, possibly lose that game because they were focusing on beating Alabama, because then they would win it outright because they would have the head-to-head, and that would be the game they need. But now I think that there is a little bit of pressure that's off of Auburn on winning not winning Texas A&M. They're gonna play Alabama tough. That they could be 3-22 and come into that game, and they will play that game tough. I do wonder about the Texas A&M game now. Are they going to be at a situation where, hey, we're going to play tough for a half and some change and try and make sure we finish off the year strong? Or is Bruce Pearl, which I'm kind of leaning toward, saying, hey, guys, the job isn't finished. We're playing good basketball, but we can be better. I mean, even in the game against who they just beat? Kentucky. Broom only had 9 points, I want to say, and like 6 rebounds, which is unheard of for him. But Kelly went off for 30 points in that game. Is it a situation where with Broom you want him to be healthy, so you keep his minutes low because he is playing through still the injury that he had a few weeks ago, and allow him to be fully healthy for an SEC tournament run and then a March Madness situation? That's what I'm interested to see how Pearl manages, because Auburn goes 9 deep easily, which is a good luxury to have in tournaments where some players may not have it that night. There's early foul trouble, whatever the case may be. Yeah. So do you manage these next 2 games as if you're already in the tournament or not? If I'm Bruce Pearl, I would. But, he might only know, one speed, and that's go. If you were managing the team, what would you do?
I want to be a number 1 overall seed. So I'm checking the box. I want the regular season championship. You only get these kind of seasons once every, and I won't say the blue moon, but I want the regular season championship. Check, I got that. I want the SEC championship tournament. Check, I want that. And then I want to go and let's go hunting for the national championship. Especially knowing that a couple of years back we were
got robbed
Elite 8 or Elite 8 against Virginia, who eventually won it. So
Final Four. They made the Final Four. If they win that game, they in the championship game. They got robbed by Virginia.
So I what about the ref? But
by the ref, thank you.
So I'm checking our boxes, and so I'm pushing hard. And you're probably not gonna have this team back next year. A couple of these guys are gonna be in the league. So
you gotta go with the roster that you got. And the squad that you have, and try to make this team a championship team.
And the men's side is just about as deep as the women when it comes to who you have legit championship aspirations.
Yeah,
I think out of the top 12, I think there's six teams who probably have real championship aspirations on how they're built.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the men's going to shake out a little bit funnier than the women's because, you always have those teams you just don't see coming, and those smaller conferences that have, senior laden squads, or they have a guy that no one's seen who can carry a guard, or a prolific scorer that no one's really seen. Then you hear about him, the week of or whatever. So, but I think there's 6 legit teams that can probably win a championship this year. And so,
yeah,
that's a good thing.
Duke is second right now, 26-3. Houston moved up from 4-3, 25-4. Tennessee moved up. They're 24-5, of course, by beating Alabama, and then Florida dropped 25-4. St. John's keep moving up. Quiet as kept. Yep, I think that they're on a 7-game winning streak at 26-4.
Rick Pitino. College basketball. This is his ninth. I know he has 6+. This is like his 8th or 9th program he has going to a tournament. I think that's what he just broke the record of.
Is it that many? It can't be that many. It can't.
Seneca, St. John's, Kentucky,
Providence,
4,
Louisville,
5. I said 6, right?
You said 9.
No. Well, you do a little puffering.
That's a big puffer there.
But it should be. I think it's 6.
Providence. We said Providence, Kentucky, Louisville. I don't know.
Seneca, that little small school in New York where he went to when he came back from
St. John's.
And now St. John's.
That'd be 6.
That's 5.
That's 6 if you count St. John's.
Okay. So yeah, so 6.
Excuse me.
6.
Excuse me.
6 programs he's taken to the big dance. So all he got to do is win one game in the Big East tournament or whatever they in now, and they get in the slot.
Man, that's insane.
That's good work.
Yeah, I mean, that is, again, that's not somebody you want to meet in the second round, more than likely.
No, yeah.
Not with that coach.
I don't want to draw the Redmen
as a 4 seed, probably.
That would be the sweet spot too. You get to avoid that small conference champion. At 5, you play the conference champion.
Who's a 12?
Who's a 12, and then after that you pay somebody else who was either a conference champion or a runner-up. You know what I mean? So that 5 seed is not where you want to be. You want to be 4-13. You want to be 3-11.
Alabama is 7th, as mentioned. Michigan State is 8th. Quiet as kept too.
Yeah,
because all the attention has been the SEC and the ACC.
Yep.
That Michigan State has quietly been moving up.
Texas Tech
at 9, and then Iowa State in the 10th spot,
finishing up the top 10.
Yeah, that's tough teams that you would not want to see. You don't want to see. Well, Michigan State could be. Well, they could be a 3 seed, depending on how well they play in the. They could also be. No, that's going to be. They could be a 2 or 3, depending on how they finish the Big Ten championship game. and depends on where they are sent to. But yeah, to your point though, Auburn is in a nice position to be the #1 overall seed, and hopefully have a favorable
don't get
bracket.
far away.
Don't be like Wichita State and be the #1 overall seed
and get put in the.
They have Michigan State, Carolina, and who UCLA was in the bracket, I think, and Tennessee. Like,
well, no, with that Wichita squad, they had Kentucky.
Kentucky, right? Yeah,
that's what they wound up losing to.
Right, all those teams in there.
Yeah.
Let's go to football. You win a championship and then you get cut. 6-time Pro Bowler Darius Slay, Eagles cornerback, will be released because they're trying to save $4.3 million.
And he old. I mean, as far as they're not old, but the defense is younger. I can find somebody in the draft.
Ooh, you trying to get rid of everybody? Oh boy,
listen, man, I tell y'all,
man, what's going on? you really are caught in Medicaid, ain't you? Boy, you making cuts.
I can go into the White House with a T-shirt and a sweater on. I ain't gotta wear no jacket.
No jacket. Long as you're in all black. Long as you're in all black. All black. All black everything.
I'm just missing a little raggedy baseball hat. I'll be good to go.
Or if you're from the Ukraine, either way, you just got to be in all black, I guess. Oh, no, never mind. You can't do that. You can't do that.
You get in there, but you ain't going
to get Sandman. Sandman is correct.
I gotta say, I'm South African.
Right.
I'm from the South and I'm African.
Okay. South African.
So I
ain't lying. But man, you cutting everybody because they get old. Boy, I mean, you're gonna lose that experience though. But you know what? All jokes aside,
ask San Fran how much they care about that experience right now.
But no,
they cutting people too.
But no, all jokes aside, I don't have a problem with this because of how their front four is set up. Yeah. Had it been somebody on the front four, I'd go over the tax because we've seen the 2 times that the Patriots lost is because the Giants had one of the best front fours in football, right? Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes, the times that he's lost the Super Bowl is because Tampa had one of the best front fours and Philly had one of the best front fours. Mm-hmm. If I can, with my front four, put enough pressure by only having to rush 4, occasionally 5, I can deal with a good secondary. I don't need a great one. I just need a good one. Yeah. And to your point, I don't know if it's in the draft or free agency. Maybe somebody wants to come and play because, as we mentioned before, after the Super Bowl, Philly is built right now to win a couple of more initially. Now, their window is open right now.
Wide open.
The window is open right now. And you might have some guys who want to come there and say, you know what, I want to finish off the last 3 or 4 years. I'll give you 2. You give me a 4-year contract with at least 2 years. I'm in the secondary. You know,
I'm gonna give a little bit more credit to Philly. They know how to draft. So,
they know their free agency.
Well, free agency too, but I also know how to draft. They know how to draft. So I mean, their whole front four is all
Georgia,
1 to 3 years. Georgia, but I mean, they've drafted
Georgia and Alabama, right?
They've drafted them though, so I trust them enough too that maybe I don't have to go into free agency. I can find what I'm looking for in the draft, 2nd round, 3rd round, and to your point, I got a good enough defense in my front 7 that I can develop my back end. So by years in, he's no longer a rookie. You know what I mean? He's, so they're winning twice. I'm saving some money.
Yeah.
They're doing everything that San Fran wished they could do with the rings.
Yeah, San Francisco, their window is open and now it's closed, which is why they traded Debo to Washington back to your team again, the Commanders. Yeah, they your team again.
Oh man, you know what I mean.
Y'all on IG official now. I saw it. You didn't want to tell nobody. You put it in the story. You didn't post it, but you put it in the story. I saw it. You back with him. You back. you like it's gonna disappear 24 hours, but I saw it. I saw it though.
Gave you an update of what they were doing.
I saw you share the memory. You remember when? You remember when?
Speaking of songs, I used to mess with a cousin, but you ain't know that.
No, they don't.
I slipped.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I mean,
Miss Vanetta Wallace, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Sister Wallace. Hey, look, Sister Wallace. If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
Yeah, but no, San Fran's window is closed.
It's closed. That's it.
And you know, you can't keep on making these runs and not winning the championship, but then now you got to start paying people as if you won the championship. So I get the letting Debo go. He was becoming
too much. It was the price tag was too much. He was due $22 million.
Yeah, but I'm talking about even personality wise, as far as attitude.
Coming too much.
What I mean? Becoming too much there. So you know those things you can take on when you're winning championships.
Not when you're losing though.
Comes less when you're losing them. Correct. But I also for Washington to just have to give up a fifth round. And you're only doing it for 1 year, and you're paying them $21 million or whatever it is, and they have so much money in the cap space. It's not really a lot. It's not. Yeah. It's not a weight. You know what?
He's a possession receiver, right? He's not coming in to be the number one receiver.
No. I'm about to say I'm about to get to that point. So yeah, but I'm just saying how if I picked a rookie in the fifth round, I gotta wait 2 years for him to develop to know what he's going to be. Yeah, I'm paying this guy, giving up a fifth round, and I already know what he is.
So, I gotta beat Philly. Philly.
And so now he gives, because Cliff Kingsbury runs a similar offense that Shanahan runs. Not the same, but it's similar. So now I get an extra wide receiver. I get an extra running back because they used him as a running back in San Fran. So I get a 2-for-1 in how I can use Debo in Cliff's system, and I'm paying
market money,
pennies on the dollar, because I still have so much cash.
It's market money because you look at T. Higgins, who got franchised by Cincinnati. What are they paying him? 24?
24, yeah. But I'm only
26.
Yeah, so I'm paying.
They franchise him at 26.
So I'm paying.
You paying market money?
Yeah, less than market money, really.
Less than market money
at 21 for 1 year. If he pans out, and then he's going to want to probably try to ball out because he's going to want that next contract, whether he got something to prove or anybody in free agency. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win for everybody. And again, San Fran gets an extra pick, and they haven't been bad at finding gems late in the round. Mm-hmm. I feel like finding wide receivers. Listen, they could probably pick up old boy from San Jose State.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say they could pick up Cooper Kupp from free agency.
No, I mean, yeah, but I think they could pick up old boy from San Jose State, the Triple Crown winner in college. He's probably, because he didn't run a fast. He didn't run a fast 40. What's it? Is it Cash? My goodness. Cash? Is it Cash?
Nash.
You said the only Nash you know.
Nash we know is Steve Nash. That's it.
So Nash. So I mean, he didn't run a strong 40. in the combine. So he may go from a second round to a third round. He might drop a little bit lower, depending on So you could get a guy like that for the extra fifth round, or you can package that extra fifth round to move up if you want to get him. So it's a win-win for San Fran too. You know what I mean? You get some money off your books. The wide receiver,
you get rid of a disgruntled. Get rid of disgruntled employee.
Disgruntled employee.
That's basically what this is.
Yeah.
It helps Washington. I think that Daniels now gets a possession receiver that he can go to on 4th and 3, because with Dan Quinn, they going for it. 4th and 2, 4th and 3 is nothing for them to go for it. Now Jaden Daniels doesn't have to rely on, I gotta make something happen with my legs. When he rolls out, he can, but you also got to be wary of Debo, who is a strong receiver that you can throw into a small window, or you can throw a quick out and know that he's going to be right there and
make a tackle miss or whatever.
He's
like I said, he is. Or when you see Debo in motion, is he going to get the ball? Is the ball going to go to him? Is the ball going to go to Brian Jr.? Is the ball going to stay with Daniels?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's it's like I said, it's an extra weapon. I still think they need a true number 2 to go with Scary Terry. But you might can find that. Listen, I only give it a 5th round. I can probably still find right now wide receivers are the lowest hanging fruit. You know what I mean? So you
got to have a receiving core now. It's not so much we got our guy. You got to have a number 2 and a number 3 now, because the passing game has taken over.
Yeah, but to that point, I'm saying, so you can now go. I mean, they got Ertz. You can now maybe still look for a tight end. So
that's possible.
Or you can go all defense and say, hey, I know I need to stop in my own division. I'm gonna need to stop.
What if you pick up Chris Godwin? What if you're San Francisco? You can pick up Chris Godwin cheap, because the Bucs are not going to franchise him, because it would be this over 100% raise. So he's going to be on the free agency market. Devontae Adams from the Jets is now on the market. So there are a lot of receivers out there, because what was it? He was going to be a $38 million cap hit. And with Aaron Rodgers being gone, now the Jets are talking about, hey, we're willing to trade Devontae Adams. So
so there's a lot of movement going on. So the first, just the second, because the first real thing, the Rams extended their quarterback,
Matthew Stafford.
So I don't know why I thought he was going to walk, because you're not in the position to even get up and to get anybody if you was the Rams.
But you know what they did right after that was give the left tackle Jackson 3 years, $57 million, 35 guaranteed. Who's only 26 years old. Got to protect your quarterback.
Protect the old man. Yeah. and they draft well too. So you looking like, listen, there's not a quarterback in here that I can get that's going to fall. I actually think Dart might move up now a little higher. I think Dart might be the 3rd quarterback to come off the chart.
That's possible.
Cam might be one. Short is probably 2. And then I think Dart might make enough noise that he gets up there and he comes off sooner than what everybody expected.
Based on the combine, we know who not going. Will Howard from Ohio State. Did you see that? That looked like it was AI generated. He was overthrowing the ball so much. I mean, it was terrible.
And then
it was terrible.
I wonder who's going to take a chance on Alabama's quarterback,
Milroe.
Milroe. I mean, he's a guy similar to when Indianapolis took a chance on Richardson. I don't think he goes.
Yeah, but still, nobody has looked as bad as Howard, though.
Oh no, I'm with you.
I mean, to go from national championship to looking like that was terrible. Every pass was either behind or overthrown or out of. I mean,
can he make it up? Can he make it up when they have their pro day?
No. What's done is done. What's done is done, and he is one that probably should have did a pro day. He hurt himself on this one. He cannot recover from this.
Well, like I said, you only talking about three, maybe 4 quarterbacks. Like I said, Sanders, Ward.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dart's going to make a name for himself, and then the fourth one was I don't know who 4 is. 3 guys now.
Yeah.
I don't know who the fourth quarterback's going to be. But I was saying all that to say I don't know why everybody thought the Rams were really going to let
Stafford
walk.
So now with Stafford staying, everybody turns their attention to Sam Darnold. Does he stay with Minnesota or not? Because more than likely McCarthy is going to be healthy and back.
I think
there's still some questions around who I just mentioned from the Jets. Aaron Rodgers, which reportedly the Giants are looking to pick him up. I mean, that's from one dumpster fire to another, but it's better than Danny Dimes. So,
yeah.
I mean, what do you get? And then who was the other one? It was a third. Oh, Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. Which one is Pittsburgh going to keep, and which one will more than likely?
I think they're gonna let
Russ
keep Fields and let Russ walk.
Go with Fields as a future because he's younger, and hopefully, because he played well. They were undefeated until Russ came in. I want to say, or they were 4-1, 3-1, 4-1. Right? Yeah. But yeah, do you give the reins to him and say you're our future, or?
I mean, if you talking about doing a soft build, they still need talent. Like the problem with Pittsburgh is outside of Pickens, they don't have any offensive talent. I mean, Najee is a decent running back, but he's probably lost his get up and go. And then you got Pickens, and that's it on the offense. You don't have anything. Like literally, there's nothing else. So much as we might want to bash Fields a little bit or say Russ don't got it, who's he throwing the ball to? Oh my bad, and Fair moved at the tight end. Like it's limited. Is limited. They don't have any top end.
You know what?
Right now.
That would be a good spot for Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
because it's a stable franchise. It's not like one in the Jets. It's not like one he had in Oakland, which was dysfunctional. It's a stable franchise. Him and Pickens will pair well together.
You got a true number one on the other side, so he ain't got to be the focal point.
He got to be the focal point, and he still has something left, and something left to prove as well. I that would be a good spot for him. And to your point of getting somebody in there with that would be a threat. I think that's the other thing. Not just a wide receiver, but a talent that's a possible threat.
Yeah. So,
all right. Before we get out of here, congratulations to you, Joe Gibbs Racing, back-to-back for Christopher Bell. They won the Circuit of the Americas. Yeah.
Somebody should play Aubrey songs. This is Drake. Might be back-to-back. They're gonna come back, get some streams up.
Yeah. I mean, last week in Atlanta, he won, and it was, he was talking about, y'all can stop saying that Joe Gibbs hadn't won in 10 months. Now they go back-to-back. And we had talked about it last week, right? How do you race going forward? Yeah, you race to win, but do you pull back or do you? No.
You find your car, you
go
find
winning.
Your groove. Let's go win. Yeah.
Yeah. So
nothing tastes better than winning it again.
Kyle Busch had a good car. He led a lot of laps. Yeah. But unfortunately didn't finish. So we'll see where that takes him going forward. But right now, it's William Byron, Ryan Blaney, Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell, and Chase Elliott. It's your top 5. Chase raced well too. What did he finish? 3rd? It was a top 5 finish, if I can remember. So we'll see if they can go for a 3-peat. And
it's been a hard thing these last couple of years in all sports.
All sports. Pat Riley sitting there like, man, my trademark. I need somebody to do it so I can say, no, you got to pay me.
Yep.
Oh man. All right, follow DNA Sports Talk on
X.
DNA Sports Talk on
Meta.
DNA Sports Talk on
Snapchat.
DNA Sports Talk on
Instagram.
Reach us directly.
DNASportsTalk at Gmail.
Website.
www.DNASportsTalk.com. Peace.
Round table. Take notes.
Tell the whole world the truth is back. Tell the whole world the truth is back.
Throw rocks at the throne.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
All right.